Hello, hello, good evening everyone, and welcome to round 2 of the NTSR Racing Touring Car Series. Today we are on the wonderful Circuit de Never Magny-Cours, and I'm joined today by Biggles. Biggles, how are you?
Good evening, good to be back for another round of the Touring Car Series, of course, as you said. One of the great classic tracks here in El Fronce. Looking forward to it. 15-minute open qualifying and 2 15-minute heat races will be up. So any expectations, my friend out there, for who you think will be putting one of these puppies on pole?
That's going to be a tough question, but I mean, the safe bet would be to say definitely Brendan Hawken. He's shown that he's been an absolute gladiator the entire season through, even though we've had one race, but the previous season as well. So my money will be on him. But if I'm, I am a gambling man, I would say that Joni Niemi, our good friend, Finnish friend, would have a very, very good chance of doing well today.
Well, they say to finish first you have to be Finnish, don't you?
That's a very good one, yeah. I guess it's the first one to get to the finish flag, huh?
Yeah, you're right, Yogi. And Isaac, of course, is from Spaniel. And we've also got currently at the moment, just in the timing tower there for the practice session that's finishing up gives you a little bit of an indication, early indication of perhaps those times that we'll be setting for the qualifying will be starting in about 30 seconds.
Yeah, I mean the time so far are absolutely fast. I mean, a 1:48.4 is insane. I did a bit of homework before coming here today. I didn't want to show up in empty-handed. And the current touring car wrecked lap record on this track would be a 1:47.997, which was that with Seat Cupra Leon TCR. So unfortunately, it's not available in iRacing. But I mean, we're only half a second off that, which is absolutely insane.
Well, I'll go see how much you paid attention in your homework. What was the fastest record speed with these cars that we have, which is currently at the moment the Honda, the Hyundai, and the Audi?
I unfortunately didn't get that far into my research, but I'm sure. Are you able to give me that time?
No.
Oh, it was worth a try. Worth a try.
Welcome everybody to chat, of
I
course.
had a bit of hope.
Did I come? And then Stephen Fry. Good luck, everybody. Hoping to sign up for next week. Good. Well,
oh, badass.
the boss is
Love
here,
to see
so
her.
he can give you the approval or not, Mr. Kevin.
Ooh, I mean, Steven's always welcome. Yeah. I see Drakine, which I believe, if I'm not mistaken, is our good friend Matteo as well in the chat. So,
oh yeah,
repping the French people on this home track.
Flying Frenchman. Yep. G'day, Matteo.
Yeah, on a home track as well. I mean, that has to be a good one, you know?
Yeah, can't wait to hear those cheers. You probably can't wait to hear the cheers there, Matteo, and you're going around each of the corners.
Yep. Yeah, so
I like
far.
this
So
track far more than Paul Ricard. What do you think?
I'm a bit torn in between. Controversial opinion. I do like Paul Ricard, as long as that's a chicane in the middle.
Yeah, true. Well, you mean down Bristol Straight or something, is it?
Yes, the long back straight.
Well, the thing
You're
is,
absolutely correct.
the runoff areas are just it's a great unique deal because of the paint that you have there in Paul Ricard, where it's the white paint, the blue paint, and the red paint, of course, in colours of the flag. But they actually have the different tungsten material in there to slow the cars down rather than gravel traps like they have here. But that kind of just takes that surprise, doesn't it? You can run off and you don't crash it so much as what you can do on regular tracks like this. That's the only reason why I don't like it. For driving perspective, well, that's up to you guys. You drive, like, whether the track put some more challenges or not.
I mean, I'm assuming it's going to be a tough challenge. Like, I do expect the other French track, Castellet, to get over here soon, because I mean it's a track they should have by all means. But the driving is going to be extremely hard. I mean, if you see onboards from like the F1 drivers who drive there, or even in like F3 or F4 series who go there, it's absolutely insane how they can judge their proper braking points, because there's just so many different layouts, so many different roads on the Mistral Straight. It's insane.
Yeah, it's got so many different configurations on that track, of course.
Yeah, true.
Now, we're not going there for Formula 1 this year, are we? Now, are they going to another track? Or am I wrong?
I believe we're going there.
We are?
I believe we should be going there, yeah.
Oh, it's one of them. Was it the Spanish one? No, I have to check.
A very good question. I believe we're going there, but it's a good question. So yeah, so far we got a couple drivers on screen who are currently setting a lap. We've got Brandon Hawken, who had a purple sector at first, but he has been overtaken in the first sector by Isaac, which let's ride on board with him, shall we, for a bit? See how he's doing.
Yeah, you can give us a hot lap guide.
That's a very good one. Let's see, just going through the second sector here. This is a very awkward, long right left-hander, which seems to go on forever. You want to get on the throttle as early as possible, not clip the curb here on the right as too much, as it usually unsettles the car. So a little bit of a relief here, a little straight, but coming into a very, very hard corner. Brake around the 70 meters, swing it in, hit the curb, take as much of the left curb as you can before going into the next braking zone, which is a tight hairpin towards the right. Takes it very nicely, run as wide as you can to take that speed onto this small little back straight, which goes into, you guessed it, another slow right-hand corner. You can actually take a little bit more speed into here than you expect, braking around 100 meters, laying it in, take as much to the left as possible to set yourself up for the last chicane, take all of the curb you can, wide straight, and go straight off track here. And let's see what's happening here. And that's the first lap, a 1:49.285, so still a little bit more in the bag, I feel, but still very solid time.
Yeah, there you go. And just to confirm to you on that one, we're not going to Frets this year for Formula 1. So that was the one I thought it wasn't.
Ah, fair.
Keeping up
I
for
thought we were.
Stevie. He's got a purple sector 1 as well.
Oh.
And a good personal best there, sector 2. And this across the line there, this could be a top of the time chase. No, it's not. It's about 8 tenths down, but that's good. It's a good first lap there, I believe, there from Stevie. So
Yeah, I mean, it seems like he nailed it in the first sector. He just couldn't like carry it on to the next sectors. But I mean, what we see with these cars, they take a bit to warm up. Once they're warmed up, you can just run consecutive laps. There's no resetting for the ultimate low fuel runs, usually. So it's going to be interesting to see who does what here.
Isaac's going a
Seems
bit
like-
quicker as well too. And the chat there, thank you very much to Andy for answering that one. Sign-ups are still available for this season.
That's absolutely correct. Let's go up over to Isaac for a bit for a second lap to see if he can improve. He has a purple first sector, as you said, which is a very, very good first sector. Let's see if he can do well in the second sector. Brandon, meanwhile, getting a purple middle sector. Let's see if Isaac can improve on that one. I believe they're right behind each other, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, do you think a little bit of a tow might be occurring here? But I don't think you'd get too much of a tow, would you? Track map?
Yeah, I don't think there's too big toes here. I mean, of course, the toe is good, but of course you also get the dirty air. The fan speed will make the corners a little bit harder than you'd probably want it. Let's see, so far, pretty solid. Can he improve this time?
Yep. Brendan
Isaac
does.
didn't. Brandon did.
Yeah.
Absolutely amazing. It's you know, not even a tenth and a half in between them.
As Marco goes up into P3, so Yanni, if I'm sorry, the Finnish driver's name there, if I messed it all up there, I apologise, but I expect a little bit more out of him as well too. They're probably cracking the 49s. That's what the Brendan and Isaac are in at the moment, the 49 club. Actually, make that a few more drivers as they just come in to, as Harry there, the other Finnish driver, the 88 machine, he gets into the 49 club. Currently slots in P4.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, here comes Yanni there. There you can see. Here he's got his middle sector's purple, so he's definitely going to bring it here to the likes of Brendan and Isaac. And he does, right up the top of the time sheets, just like that. And Isaac's responding with a purple sector 1. We're down to about 6 minutes left of qualifying, so this is when you're going to start to see those flying laps to the best of your ability. Here's a helicopter cam looking at Isaac's car. I love that livery, of course, Rick and Morty. I have a voice changer. Should I do my...
oh boy.
I
Oh boy.
don't know if I should use my Rick voice changer. No, we won't do that. We'll keep it nice and professional here. But
You know what? You know what? If we get someone else on pole except for Brendan, I'd say you need to pull out the voice changer.
I'll do it next time. How's that sound? Okay, because I completely forgot
fair.
about Isaac's Rick and Morty livery. So we'll do that maybe for a surprise next time around there.
I'll keep it to that one.
Yeah, just remind me. Okay, and of course in the chat there, Cosmos, he checked. He didn't. It doesn't have the tracks the next 2 weeks. Okay, mate. So
That's
you're
a
gonna miss a
bummer.
little bit, but yeah, definitely sign up for that next season as you are interested in. Hopefully, get all those tracks sorted out there and get maybe a little bit of practice. Some drivers don't even get much of a practice these days, and they do quite well. A little wide there from Isaac, but it's okay. It's counted
Just
and
get
it's top.
That's people are doing incredibly well. I mean, they are improving the times lap after lap, and that just shows that the track grip and just the tires do get into their window a bit better lap after lap. Absolutely amazing to see. And I do wonder, we've got a little bit of a gap between P8 and P9 there. And I wonder if that's just a couple laps that need to be better, or if it's the Audis that are not as competitive on this track, because it is a very tough track in terms of grip and in terms of driver skill for that matter.
Could be, but then again, you've got still improvements happening here from Yoni and Isaac, as you can see, purple sectors for them. So one of the, looking like this at the moment, Brandon's going to come in for a surprise. It's going to be one of these two drivers on the front row. But once again, keep an eye on Brandon. He hasn't got a purple sector 1 yet, but you don't need all the purples. In fact, you don't need any purples to set the fastest time. It just needs to be the quickest average time.
Yeah, as long as the fastest lap is not the one with all purples. Ooh,
Yeah.
that's a
Ooh.
tough one.
That's definitely going to
a
compromise
bit hairy.
that lap for sure. And he's going to have to back off.
I was gonna say, I'm assuming that's an off track. I'm assuming that's his lap done for today. Well, not today, but for this lap. Yeah.
Yeah, this lap.
See how is Marco doing? He is currently on a lap, but it's not necessarily the fastest lap. Isaac has a purple sector. Let's see how he's. Oh, that's the wrong one. There we go. He's currently going towards the last 2 corners. Let's see if he can improve. Didn't improve on the second sector, but he might improve on his last one. Which I believe wasn't even the best last time we went around. And does he improve? Ooh,
No.
that is...
But Brandon did. Brandon did.
Oh, look at Brandon.
2/10 as well, sending a statement down, laying the gauntlet down. The number 1 machine wants to keep the number 1 spot at the moment and says, all right, here it is, I'm bringing it. Who wants to take it away from me?
That's, oh. That was a little bit of a flash there, but should be all right. Let's see, hurry, can he improve his lap? No, I mean, they're all getting really close, but they're just not getting into that 48s.
Make sure you hit the like and subscribe buttons out there. I said 20 of you chatting, of course. Welcome along to Store Racing. Sign-ups are available if you would like to be a part of this series. Just head on to the website, I believe there, right?
That's absolutely correct.
Yep.
Head to nstarracing.com and check our leagues, which is the touring car series currently.
We don't
There's
have
no sign of
Gerald,
left.
unfortunately. He's having a bit of a break. We do miss you, Gerald. So our usual broadcaster and commentator. But you got the next
Both.
best thing. You have the boss man, Mr. Kevin.
Yeah, things are set up, things are running. Hopefully that stays going smooth. Bit of a trial run here, but you know, no one has to know. Don't tell anyone.
You're doing all right, okay, at the moment, my friend. Camera work,
It'll be all right.
it's the beauty of it, of course, is that iRacing does make it quite easy with the right tools. So we can try to capture all the action and, of course, replays. So that'll be when you come to the test, my friend. You have to pull up those replays later on.
Yeah, I mean, we'll work it out. Things will be fine. We see a little moment from Massimo Boni, so let's immediately see if that replay function does what it should do. See a little off track here. I'm assuming that's after T1, or no,
Too
that's
deep.
just going a bit wide into turn 1. Taking a little bit of speed in there.
Good save. And that's without the fancy paint in Paul Ricard as well. That's literally saving on the grass.
Yeah, I mean, the grass is grippy sometimes, but it's not that grippy. Thankfully, the TCRs, the front-wheel drive, it does help a lot on grass. That being said, don't go on grass, guys. Not a good idea. No grip there.
Do you know what we're missing on the grid? Which you usually have
So?
in every single grid is a Dutch driver.
We have a Dutch driver. We got Robert de Koning.
Oh,
He's-
sorry,
he's
my
best.
apologies, Robert. My bad.
Yeah.
Sorry, I've got a
discussing with this
Supermax
guy.
song in my head at the moment because I watched a video just a little bit earlier with the Max Supermax, and now I can't get it out of my head. Yoni going pretty quickly as well too, as you can see, the purple machine.
Just going through the last couple corners now.
You're going to
See
nail
if we
this
can-
perfectly. Basically, go straight through if you can, because you don't want to scrub too much speed. It should be a good time. Will it be just
Ooh,
enough for P2?
That's close. Now the real question is, can Isaac, can he bank on this? But so far, not. I think he's going to go back and see if he can get something done with fresh tires.
Andy says that in the chat, iRacing grass has grip. That's big news. Yeah, getting picked on up here in the casting box. Apparently, Kevin has found some grip there. So you're doing something wrong if you can't find that grip.
I am very experienced in grass, so I usually end up there backwards, but I try to do what I can. But unfortunately, sometimes that means going backwards through grass. Some
Hey,
say
whatever
it's
gets you
faster.
across the line. It doesn't matter if it's forward, backwards, upside down, sideways, as long as you get across the line.
Heck yeah. Usually not at first, but hey, you know, can't win them all. Or any of them. But, you know.
Yeah,
just-
have you never won a race? You've won a race before, haven't you?
I've won back in the F4 series. I
okay.
came in second.
Oh, so second, but no,
Never-
you never won a race.
Overall, I got in second. I won a couple races there, but I got beaten out by my teammate.
you mean
who
the
I've had a
championship.
very
Okay.
friendly rivalry with.
Yeah.
Yes. It was a very good one.
Here's the Italian powerhouse, of course, of Massa. But look at that. You can tell the man's serious when his pitcher has they're fully dressed up in a racing suit and they're actually matching the livery of the car too. I'd like to see that. That's definitely drivers getting into the action as well too. As you can see, Stevie's on his bike and he's got his racing overalls on. Thank you wearing those racing overalls and helmets on a bike, my friend Stevie, because it'd be quite dangerous without.
Look at that. He improves a lot of time as well.
Yeah.
Gets into a nice solid P5 with 1 minute 10 on the clock. Let's see who can improve his lap. Got a couple people still on track. Yoni is currently all yellow sectors. Marco Benatelli, purple first sector. What can he do?
Well, he's going to try to do it here for the Italianos Absolute Motor Sport team. He could be the shocker to dethrone Brandon's pole position off here, so we'll have to see. Perhaps save the best
See
for
what-
last.
Up to the Nice tight right left-hander, a little chicane into the very, very, very awkward long left corner. And this is where you can lose or gain so much time. Such an awkward corner.
How did that look? It looked like he took it okay, but then again, Ian drivers know where every little inch of the track can gain you time.
Yeah, well, we have been going back and forth with the first purple sector. I mean, people getting a really good toe or just a really good entry into turn 1. But yellow right middle sector.
Yeah, might have made it. It didn't look too bad, did it, on the pitches, but then again, scrubbed a little too much. Trying to make it up in the third one here. I'm quite sure there's going to be enough there to beat Brandon, but it'll certainly be quite good if you can get it on the front row. Because you got to remember, this Italian driver here is 2.9k I rating. Brandon's a 7.4, so this is a whole different class of field. Look at the rear end, but then again, I rating isn't absolutely everything. Get it just one perfect here. A little bit of an error. Will it be an improvement on his time?
Ooh,
stay in P4. It did improve.
Very close.
Not enough.
And just on the end there. But yeah, I mean, that is our qualifying done. And here we have our grid for the first race, first heat race. On pole, we have Brendan Hawken. On second, next to him, we'll have Yoni Niemi. The second row will be filled by Isaac Jane and Marco Benatelli. Third row, Steve Hillwood and Harry Unila. Fourth row, Robert Koenig and Massimo Boni. Then on the fifth row, we have Leon Jenkin and Jan Mild. Then on the final row, we have Matteo Lemeray and Marek Leolias. It's going to be a very interesting race. I mean, the run up to turn 1 is quite short, but it's you know, it's a tricky one.
Yeah, they're going to load in at the moment, and we're going to get ready for the first of our heat races, of course. And if you need to hydrate yourself and boost yourself a little bit of Rogue Energy, of course, one of our sponsors, and stack a couple of them in your fridge there. And of course, if you want everything motorsports, go to Digital Motorsports for all your gear that you can get. And sign up and race for future series as well as this touring car series at andystoreracing.com.
Couldn't have said it better. Beautiful. And we have nearly every driver on the grid. We're just waiting for Yoni and Brandon to take their spots in the first row.
Damn, that's a lot of plugs. You should see that they'll plug in my hair, try to get me to stop my balding. Didn't work. So I got to do my plugs on air.
You don't need
I didn't do plugs, actually, no, but we're talking about that the other day. So into turn 1's going to be interesting. Remember, it's a 15-minute race, so there will be sprinting. Trying to take advantage as you possibly can, because I'm not quite sure about how this overtake is going to pan out. But over to you, Kevin, to call the race.
Lights on, 5 lights, and that should be lights off, and away we go for the first heat race. We have a pretty good start from the leaders, but a very, very awkward start from our good friend. I believe it was Massimo Boni who didn't have.
Yoni. Yoni had a big bog down there at the start. That's unfortunately didn't engage the clutch or something like that properly. You've seen it before. That's a great thing about iRacing. It's very, very difficult to get this car off the launch. Some drivers are very good launchers, sometimes have bad days. Brothers in the lead there, of course, they're from Isaac. And then,
I mean, it's still standing start, so it's still a tough one. But everyone got through the first sector relatively safe, so that's what we like to see. Good action, and now going into hairpin. Can someone make a move here? Well, we see a move going from the inside, from, I believe, on Robert Koenig. A little bit harchy-barchy, door to door, but everyone got through safe. Yoni and Robert still keeping his position there. Yoni is on the attack. He wants the position.
Yeah, after that poor start, he's going to take it back because he had the pace, obviously, to put this car up on the first row. Now he's got a bit of work to do, but luckily he's got a little bit more time on his side to get it done. Now, look at the pace difference going to the corner there, but the door's slammed on him, and he's going to have to work on it in the next coming corners. Just the exit speed's so much better there, isn't it? He's much more confident in the car.
Here's side by side into the right left-hander, into the fast chicane. Who can keep it going? We go through out there. Yes, Yoni makes the smart move and lets Robert have the position here. It's the first lap. You don't need to be all or nothing right there.
You try to tell drivers that.
I mean,
some
if gap, right?
If gap car, exactly.
Exactly. That's how it works. But so far, very, very, very respectful racing. Very good to see.
Oh, there's Isaac dropping down a little bit. Isaac's had a spin or something going off track there, because there it is.
Could have been a little slower, actually.
Under a bit of a massive attack, because look at that domino effect of the cars in the background there. Run 3 abreast going into turn 1 here. Now somebody's wise to back off that one.
But yeah, I mean, they're still getting through safe. This is absolutely great to see.
Now, I did believe it was... That's Robert, there's Yanni. So Yanni got the job done, I believe. Did he?
Yep.
Not quite sure.
He managed to get it back on start-finish straight. But here again, into the hairpin. Who can have the best entry here? This is going to be crucial. I mean, it's a long braking zone.
Big lift off there from Isaac. He's completely just stopped the car, stalled the car. Something's going on. He's just... Is that a slowdown?
That's either slowdown or it's just straight up issues. I'm not entirely sure. We did see a crash from Steve Hill, so maybe two people got together. Let's check here what happened. If that's an actual crash or if it's the contact here.
Yeah, I guess Stevie Cost leading the race. A little camouflage there. No, that I saw that it was a complete just lift off. That's weird too, on a straightaway to do that.
Oh, Steve just kind of missed his braking zone, but still, all fair. Little bit of contact, but nothing too crazy. So, still all's fair.
Yeah, that brings that three-way party into that first corner where they backed off and turned that into two. Sorry, Stevie's not leading the race. Brandon's leading the race, and Marco. They're way up the road. We're not even going to see them currently at the moment, but this is the battle. This is the action. So, Yanni, I call him Yanni, but he's back at this. He wants to crawl his way back up to that P2 where he started the race. In fact, he wants P1, but I don't think he's going to have time to catch Brendan now unless he makes a mistake. But he's working on Steve.
That's a super close battle. Almost going 3 wide. 2 wide again into the corner. Who wants to brake later? No one does. Oh, but it's a very wide corner from Joni.
Just like that, he dropped a possible 2 places that he could have just gained, but he's still got the speed behind it. That's what you have to do as an engineer anyway, as a spotter tell your driver. Don't you worry, you're still quick. Nothing's denying that. It's just that was a little bit of an error, went off the track there, and now you have to work a little bit more, but the speed difference that they're carrying through here, that doesn't look like Steve's too confident through there, and then becomes under a massive attack here.
Agreed. I mean, it's also one of the problems with trying to defend. I mean, you make one mistake defending him. Instead of just the person behind you gets position, it could also be the 2 people behind you get in position.
Race controls.
So we did see an incident between
no
number
action.
24 and number 181, but no further action. And I will let you know which car numbers those
24
are,
was Jan,
actually.
and 181 was Massimo. Oh, there it is. So, unfortunately, look at that. So Steve's made another little mistake there and just gone too wide there. Now that's cost a few places. Just like that, isn't it? And these drivers are making tiny little mistakes, but it's definitely providing us with some fantastic racing action here, the Touring Car Series.
So we got the numbers on screen now as well, so we should be able to check back whenever that was, but I believe you covered that quite well.
You commentate hundreds of, well, not hundreds, let's say 10s and 20s of racing events every week. You kind of get used to it. It's all good. It's all experience. Welcome to the broadcast trailer, my friend. Doing a good job there, Kevin. Oh, contact.
There's a little bit of contact between Matteo and Massimo, I believe it was right in front of him there. I believe that there may have been either a dive bump or just a straight up movement. Let's check what happened here. I did see a little bit of flashing, so definitely one of them wasn't happy with that. Yeah, that is indeed.
Now that's one to see whether or not in your mirrors you can see somebody. So that's you got to see. That's an opportunity to go for an overtake. I don't know if that'll be investigated by the stewards or not, but
yeah, I mean he did come from a little bit far back, but I believe that was a tough but potentially fair move. He was alongside in the braking zone.
I saw that from Harry going way out wide there. That's Harry currently at the moment, the other Finnish driver in P8. Sorry, not P8. Yeah, P7 actually. I was going to say 8 because he's got all the 88 cars as well too, so that triple 8 at that point. But they go 2 8s for now. Brandon's still leading the race comfortably by 2.4 seconds. Now that Yanni is up at a P3, he's got a 4.8 seconds gap to catch. That's a lot of work to do, but he's got about just under 10 minutes to perhaps try to shave that down a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, Brandon is just on a very different level once again, unfortunately. He has a good, 2.4 second gap clear of P2. I mean, still everyone's game. If Brandon makes a mistake, Marco could be right on it still, but the top 2 are definitely on a league of their own this part.
No further action
after
from
that,
it's moment that we saw just before, so the stewards are very quick on that one. Let's race on.
Good to see. I mean, as we said, tough but fair, I believe. He was alongside and under braking. He missed his braking point a little bit, but
Another thing is why you want to sign up, of course, with the anti-stall racing is because one of the rare leagues that you're going to find on the planet actually has live stewarding. Not even the professional iRacing top tier splits have live stewarding, so you will have it here at anti-stall racing, and that makes it fair for drivers out there to have the stewards have a look at that over and over again, depending on how many there are, of course, during the race we're going to look at. But that saves all the dilemma later on. Of course, I guess you can probably challenge those the steward things, but 99% of the time, I think everybody just agrees the steward decisions are good and fair. As this racing is good and fair for now between these two drivers, of course. Yes, exactly. Isaac and Stevie.
Yeah, that was a very close one. I mean, they were side to side through the entire first part of the sector. Now they're going up to the hairpin, still side by side. Nearly side by side. On the braking, can he get it done? He keeps it going.
You got to be very careful too with
crossback. The next corner is a right-hander, but I don't think he can get it done.
Good thing about Stevie's car, I believe, is it'd be very, very hard to determine if it has any damage on it with that livery.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's amazing we can even see it. Yeah. I think it's the contrast of the background. You know, if it was one of those military camos.
It certainly reminds me of the Red Bull testing livery that they had many years ago, that they did something like that to make it very difficult for the teams to see those upgraded parts and things like that. So.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of the strategies, right? Just don't show the teams what you're doing. And if you have to show them, then make it as hard as possible for them to do so.
I do think that this livery would have an advantage once again of seeing if there's damage on the car. Ooh, and that's just a complete slowdown again. So Isaac is having some sort of technical issue because he's allowing drivers through.
I'm assuming he might have some slowdowns from cutting some corners, and I'm assuming it's the second chicane, because that is a very tough one. You cut it a bit too much, and you just unfortunately get a big slowdown there.
Yeah, I'm wondering if Race Control, if they have a free moment, can get back to us and verify that. Race Control have all these fancy tools that we don't really have up here in the casting booth to kind of accurately determine those off-tracks and stuff like that. So if Race Control can give us any of that information about the situation with Isaac, having to took off a lot of places earlier as well too. It looked like he had a slowdown or technical issue, we're not sure, but he had to let a few cars through.
Yep. Yeah, I'm assuming it's just a, just a slowdown, but you get confirmation of that will be absolutely amazing. So we're just trying to see if we can get a track map open so we can see the rest of the positions of the cars, but that doesn't seem like it wants to happen.
I think from Race Control it is.
Oh, that's a crash from Haru Unila.
Oh.
He did pass him, but I believe that
this
was
is yeah, I saw Harry blinking a few times. Now, if you are new to iRacing, that means that you got a little bit of a internet issue with the server, and that itself, well, that was a very late. No, that's lucky.
I'm assuming he was just behind him and missed the braking point.
Yeah, see the blinking? And on from Harry's, like there again, from Harry's perspective, he might have had the cars blinking on his screen when he's going into the corner to brake, and that could have thrown him off completely. But luckily, he avoided contact of any of the cars.
Yeah, I mean, that could have ended very, very wrong if things happened differently there. But thankfully, left side was clear. He took avoiding action. And I'm assuming that was just him driving closely behind the car and not being able to spot his braking point, because they're quite hard to see. There's no proper markers on the side of the road. You kind of have to check where you are at the markers, check the lines on the floor, and then pick a proper point. And if you miscount them, then
if you are blinking, or if your internet's just kicking out there for a second, that would make it 10 times even more difficult. Thank you much. Race Control has confirmed it was 2 slowdowns from this man on the screen right now with Rick and Morty. He's got Rick and Morty in the back of the car, so he's probably can't even focus at the moment. But he's going to try to focus to get past Stevie here, and he has been doing that for some time now. And Stevie's just behind your fellow Flying Dutchman there, of Robert, just up the road there. 3 positions gained for Robert, currently running in P4. Good solid race for him.
That's absolutely amazing. I mean, he's doing what he needs to do to get his position. So
side-by-side action here at the moment, as we're on board with Isaac. And Rick and Morty are in the back seat at the moment, playing up, just like kids. If you don't behave, I'm going to park this car into the fence, and you're not getting any ice cream. Let's see, he's going to have to commit to this. Last of the late breakers, turn it to the right there, allow a little bit of space to the left. As you can see, we're riding on board, and that is job done. He's just ahead, and now He's got the little bit of the tiny little S's to try to go file in at the moment. And you know that Stephen's going to want this one back. It's going to be great action between these two drivers.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen it before as well in the battle between these two. Steve might be able to push him into making a mistake into the next chicane. We got the long left-hander, a lot of different lines into here, but Isaac just defending the inside line, making sure that Steve can't put on any funnies there. But now we're going into the chicane. He's made many mistakes here. Can he keep it through here, or is he going to get a slowdown? Let's see what happens.
And also, he's got that car up the road there. Of course, as I said, he's going to be flying Dutchman. So at that point, it's going to make it a little bit more difficult for him. It's going to get a little bit of slipstream, but it's also going to be difficult for the braking point, as you'd mentioned.
Yep, absolutely correct. But he did everything flawlessly. I mean, he stayed inside the track limits. He didn't make any mistakes there. So good to see that he learned from his mistakes. Steve did manage to catch up there again.
Cozzy Mozzie. He just said P just, oh, Cozzy Mozzie will get back to you on that one. That's contact there. But thankfully, did not send Robert spinning around. I'd say that's just probably a little bit of a racing instance. Now, if he did send Robert spinning around, then definitely race control will be on top of that one. Great three-way battle here.
Steve did have to fall back a little bit, but the battle between Isaac and Robert is on currently.
Yeah, and don't count out, of course, Stevie in the background, because he can be there to pounce on any mistakes that these two drivers will make and may make while they're racing. At the moment there. Cozzy Mozzie at the moment. Well, thank you very much. You purchased and joining the league to support. So he's going to hop in and race this season. So good on you, mate. I hope you're going to be getting the car there. We'll be casting you very soon. Perhaps next week. We'd like to see you on the track there. Bring it to these lads just as these two drivers are bringing it into the corner. As I said, look out for Steve. He can make an opportunity here if they do go haji-baji a little bit too much.
Yeah, I mean, Robert has a very compromised line into the next corner, and I don't see Isaac giving up any inch here. So they go side by side. Ooh, I believe it's a slowdown. There might be a slowdown for Isaac.
Oh, he doesn't want another one.
Yeah, but here it's, I mean, he has the inside line. He can, yeah, I believe it's a slowdown. He is purposely slowing down a little bit, it seems like, to get him, but not enough for them to cause trouble.
Oh, this is almost like if you had a chance to throw up. This is the last dying lap almost. So this is the reason why they're fully elbows out right now, Kevy. And just like that, look at the gap there from Isaac in one little corner, getting a good exit. And also we have another party player in, just lurking in the background there is Harry. So this is it. I don't think the white flag's been shown just yet. Brandon's way up the road. He'll see Barney soon. And look at this. And once again, we're switching positions. And this is Stevie and Robert now. So just like that, my friend.
I believe he should be going for another lap after this.
Robert from P4 hit the now in P6 in a matter of one lap. But this can also be reversed because look at that. Stephen, a little bit too much of the loud pedal is actually going to be compromised by Harry now.
That might be a slowdown, yeah.
Lets him through, yeah.
That is white flag currently, so we are correct. They're going into their last lap now. So this is a battle between Robert and Harry. Unfortunately, Steve had a moment there and he's pretty much out of contention for this lap.
Oh, look at the speed Robert's got back down on that one. Harry, I mean.
Door to door. This is touring car. This is how I want it to be. This is how it should be.
Yeah, we know that Kevy at the moment be going, come on, Robert, do it for the Netherlands. Oh, that's another little, yeah, just a little bit of flashing DC from Harry. So the Finnish driver has to try to get this done, spotting his braking point and hoping his internet doesn't have a little bit of a moment into the corner because he wants to try to take this position. Once again, you can see that little blinking.
Meanwhile, we have Harry and Leon and Jan going as well. Can they get it? That doesn't seem to happen. But into the next corner, we watch back to the fight between Harry and Robert. And so far, Robert is managing to defend his position there.
Yeah, we might have to go over to Brandon soon because he should be ready to cross the line, of course. So we get some pictures on Brandon eventually. As he's had a very lonely race, but that's all he wants to have, of course. Nice lonely race there. No pressure from anybody once he got into turn one. Great launch from the start of the race too. Ticked all the boxes off.
Let's check here real quick. Should be almost at the finish line. Let's just head over to Brandon to watch him cross that finish line.
Yeah, he takes it through that. Bingo, number one, gets the number one.
Also gets the fastest lap.
And he gets the fastest lap. That's the trifecta for him at the moment. He got one more to tick off if you want to get the quad with the quad. Marco's very happy there, flashing his lights because 2 positions goes there. We'll take that one. And you'd have to give it to the Yanni as well there for fighting his way back up to get that P3 position. So just losing one after being bogged down at the start is a good recovery drive. And the rest of the field are eventually just bouncing their way in and jumping and porpoising. And
Yeah,
you're going to
that's
have
our
Cozzy
top
Mozzie, my
11.
friend. He will be the second Audi on the grid next week. Can't wait.
Ooh. That's good to see.
Third Audi, my friend. There's 2 Audis on the grid at the moment.
That is correct, thankfully. So we have Steve crossing the line as well, and then we're just waiting for Matteo to cross the line. He's currently halfway through the second sector. He has the time to finish his lap. But that is our top 12 in so far. So just a reminder for people who are not familiar with how our series works. We have 2 races in the evening. We have Heat 1 and Heat 2. In Heat 1, the starting grid is determined by the qualifying order. But for race 2, it is the finishing order for Heat 1 with the top 10 reversed. So that means Leon Jenkins, who finished on P10, will be starting on pole position for race number 2. And that means Brendan Hawken, who did his best to win this race, who had a very long race, will actually be starting P10 instead of P1. That should cause for a little bit of a spicy race too, I'd say.
Yeah, I mean, well, Yanni there at the 87 machine there from the Finland, he's like, well, I just had to practically do that before, so it shouldn't really be so much of a problem for him to work to navigate through the field again. It's whether or not Brendan can get that, what is it, quad is it? It's a trifecta, and what's after the to be 4? I can't remember that one now.
It's a very, very good question. It's a quad factor?
Quad factor or something like that, I think it is anyway.
Something like that?
No, out there. Those race results should come up in a second, I think, for us.
I hope they do. They don't currently show yet, unfortunately.
Yeah, they're just kind of it's counting down a little bit. It's a warm-up racing. We might have actually, it might not have shown up.
Yeah, so. we had a little bit at the end there. It wasn't the proper results, but it's an in-between. But that should be fine. We're just letting the drivers have a little break. They can do their the Chola things, whatever they had to do.
No, they're race drivers. They're paid professionals. This is their job. Don't give them any breaks.
I mean, in real life, you have engineers who can clean the stuff out of your car when you have to, but I don't think they prefer for that at home. I mean, I don't know about you, but I have to service my rig myself.
Girlfriend, wife, or your mother might not be happy having to clean your racing suit. Yeah.
Yeah, that ain't good. I mean, those bucket seats, they're good, but you know they're not called bucket seats for a reason.
Hey, I went in one the other day actually in a Formula One simulator that was in a restaurant bar thing. Even here, I am in the middle of the jungle. That's quite fun. Climbing in and out of those racing seats is because I don't do that very often. There's
oh man,
quite a bit of work.
Yeah,
a play seat I think it was too that I was in, so it was proper, you know.
I mean,
your feet up as high as your head.
I mean, you used to see pictures of like the drivers during red flags, like chilling in their car and like sleeping, and they say it feels like a sort of like a cocoon because you're all packed in tight. You know, it's vibrating, the engine's on, it's humming. It's a bit warm, sitting there, waiting. I mean, I just remember pictures of like of Yoni and Harry's countryman, Kimi Raikkonen, just sleeping in his car in between things.
Be surprised with Kimi.
I mean, that's Kimi, right?
Yeah, when he's not having ice creams on the multi-million-dollar yachts in Monaco.
Oh yeah, when he gets,
or when he's not having taking a was what I was looking for. One of the famous interviews, of course.
Yeah.
Have you seen him partying? Wow. Back in the day when he was starting in Formula One, stuff like that, when he was a single man before he met his current wife now, and he's had kids, I believe, too. But yeah, he was a party. Him and Mika as well, too, used to party it up quite a bit. The Finnish can party, we know that. That's
the Finnish people, right? I mean, usually a bit quiet, bit reserved, and then you pour some alcohol into them, and it's...
absolutely.
Give them alcohol
That's a Scandinavian thing in general, I think, because I've partied with Norwegians and stuff like that as well, too. And yeah, man, they hit the drink. They're party animals.
Yeah, they're a special breed. And I can't say that too loud because my girlfriend's from Finland and she's right behind me.
Oh.
And she's looking at me quite angrily, so...
She's nodding, actually. She's going, yes.
She can only hear one side of the conversation, so it's problematic sometimes.
Well, she should be pulling up Ed Hill Racing on YouTube and watching it.
Of course she does, but sometimes things happen.
Hey, her boyfriend's doing the broadcasting trailer work here today and the commentating, of course. That's Mr. Kevin. Not to mention also running the league. So Leon will be on our pole position. There you go. You can read through that, please.
There we go. Yeah, we got on the first row. We got Leon and Jan Second row, we got Massimo and Steve. Third row, Harry, Robert. Fourth row, Isaac, Joni. Fifth row, Marco, Brandon. And the last row, Steve and Marok. And I think we need to start heading up because these guys are getting ready to race. I mean,
yeah, not a moment to waste on this. As the
there we go.
Go ahead,
There's
my
the
friend.
grid. Yes, and we've got lights coming on. The car's going on. 3, 4, 5 lights. Drivers getting ready. Lights are off, and away we go. And that's a very, very good start from our leader, Leon. But Jan is almost side by side. Meanwhile, halfway, can we get through turn 1? Everything going fine so far. Going too wide. How does it happen for?
Great launch, actually. Apart from
That's a good
Matteo,
launch. Oh,
he's
yeah.
got a couple of places lost there at the moment. Not the Frenchman not having the best time around here, and his home track, believe it or not, as well too, was a bit of a switcheroo positions. And there's a challenge for the lead of this race there. So Jan's got ahead there of Leon. As they're all bunched up, following up, trying to get themselves some early positions in this second sprint race.
There's a big wiggle in the back there, but everything going well so far. And we saw a change for the lead with Jan now going up to P1. Massimo going into P2 and Leon dropping back 2 places so far. Oh, no, and he gets
side by side there with
side.
Massimo, yeah, and Harry is just lurking in the background. Stevie's in P5 and P6, so they've big spin there from Marco.
Yeah, that's a big one.
Smashed it straight in there. That's going to hurt your back a little bit. That's contact again, because as with Isaac, who's not having the best of days here. That will be under investigation for sure from the stewards, so we'll look out for that.
I would assume so, yeah. I mean, those are the things that race control's for. And I wouldn't be surprised if we see an investigation soon. But
I believe it's Andy
battle's still going on.
Yeah, exactly. Look at this battle at the moment. There's a battle currently for, I think, just behind Isaac it is, and actually behind Stephen in the camouflage machine as they're pushing each other way through the corner. It's like, get on with it, otherwise I will push you. It is touring car. We are allowed a bit of bumping and grinding.
Yeah, that's what they're for, right? It's not called door-to-door racing for a reason. See a little push coming from Isaac on to Steve, but so far everyone's still going well. A little bit wide from Steve. Yeah. That might cost him a position. Seems like it did.
Well, he's going to follow in there. I wouldn't be risking too much. Further up, you could see a possible overtake there. That's Brandon and Harry further up there.
And Brandon already up 7 positions in this race. He's done absolutely everything he had to do.
Under investigation, of course, from our race control, and that I believe is Andy today. Is it Andy?
I believe you're correct, yeah. I think he has Steve with him just for moral support. Okay. Of course, Steve is racing, but he's able to give a little bit of feedback in places where he needs to be.
Oh, everybody cap the brake. It's bumper cars. And I love that hairpin corner. It's always produces
such a tough corner.
Yeah.
Long straights and hairpins are what we love to see as long as we're on race control.
I like to see it. I just don't like to be in the car during it.
Oof, that's a big jump from Brandon there. He's taking every single bit of the curb.
Yeah, I'm just wondering at the moment. Look at playing it safe. He's got a bit of pressure. He should get a good exit here. Now, I would not be surprised if Brendan wants this 4 in a row, and currently the pace he has, do that. He's up at a P2 just like that. Now, Jan's up. We'll keep an eye on that one a little bit later on. 1.2 seconds and change. I wouldn't be surprised if Brendan doesn't have that down to half a second by the end of this next lap.
Yeah, I mean, we know Brendan has the pace to do it. We do see a move from Steve going into the second to last corner. Second to last corner, actually. But a good move up the inside. Got a good move. Yoni losing another position going side by side.
But I do want to see this. I do want to see. I think it's Jan from Czech Republic. Oh, there's contact, and whose is that off into the side? Was that Leon?
That was a bit of a boink there.
Yeah, I was just about to say, look at that fastest lap set by Brendan. But I do want to say, Brendan, I know you're a fantastic driver. You have a 7.4 KO already. I do want to see whether or not Jan can hold it off. It's going to be a difficult task for about 10 minutes. Try to hold up Brendan. I didn't think this was going to be able to happen there, mate. As much as he could try.
There is quite a deficit between them, unfortunately for him.
Yeah. We need to throw a couple of kilograms in the back of Brendan's car there and even it up the way he's driving in the moment. Put a handicap on him. It's just amazing. Anyway,
let's see, going into the hairpin. Can you get a move though?
Well, you know, Jan's probably not going to fight it too much. Just like, yeah, mate, you just shaved about 1.2 seconds off me in the space of half a lap. I think Jan would be more focused on defending against the other drivers behind him, like Harry and
Yeah.
Steve.
I mean, I'm pretty sure Jan realizes that's not where his battle lies. But we've seen Brandon's pace. He can get away with a lot of things. He can play it safe. He can play it smart, and still get it done. Now Harry behind him, a little bit more of his pace, I'd say.
Yeah. 2.2 KI rating there for Harry. Once again,
Yeah,
I rating
I
doesn't
mean-
mean everything. So there's a time penalty for that's causing that collision. And we did say that was going to be scrutiny. That's Isaac. Unfortunately, again, Mr. Rick and Morty not having a great day here in Magny-Cours, just because he's got a couple of so many slowdowns. I think almost got 3 slowdowns in the previous race. Now he's been giving a 10-second time penalty. So he's like, oh, what's another time penalty? All right, I've had so many here today. Just give me another one.
Yeah, I mean, if you're Brandon, you'd say like just give it to me. I'll drive the gap. But I mean,
Yeah,
for this
true.
part, it's going to be a bit harder. He's going to need a little bit of luck and help, but little
we go.
switchback. Can they make it?
I tell you, it's not denying any of the racing spirit from Isaac. That's for sure.
For sure.
He's exactly like, Max Verstappen and other drivers that get thrown penalties at them all the time, remember? And they're like, they just get on with it. They just get their head down and say, all right.
I mean, you've heard on the radio that they'd rather get a penalty and be able to drive it off than have to give back positions
Yeah.
if they think it's like unfair or not proper. So, no props to them. They're Isaac. He knows he has the penalty. He knows with this penalty he'd probably drop back towards let's say B11. If I'm not mistaken.
And that's the reason why he's trying
at
to
the
put some
current time?
pressure at the moment of Harry up the road there and to make sure he doesn't have to, whatever time he has to take off. Anyway, he's going to do it. I think it's going to be taking the inside line there,
A little
and
bit of
there it
bunk.
is. He's got it. And I'd have to say there's nothing wrong with that one from Isaac, because that may be under investigation, because you could just see the different racing line outbreaking yourself a little bit there, Harry.
Yeah.
And
I think
Yeah.
I think with the angle he had, Harry wants to defend the inside on the return, but he just got a bit like parked it on the apex a little bit.
Yeah,
In the end, yes,
because if
it's
you look at
contact, but-
Isaac deliberately went off to the left so he could undercut on the inside. That was his plan, and then of course the other driver was turning in a little bit. So I give it to him. We can't give him another penalty for that. Yeah, oh yeah.
That is not the person that I tried to click.
Oh, Jan,
Oh,
just
nice.
like that, might be dropping 2 places. There's contact coming back. Jan was getting back on the racing line, so that's another one to be investigated. All of a sudden, at the moment there, Andy, of course, our Stuart, has got a little bit more work to do. He'll be looking at that. He's got still about just on halfway through this race at the moment, so he's got time.
He didn't want a quiet race anyway. He wanted something to do. He told
Okay.
me. So
Excellent. Well, he's got plenty at the moment.
I don't believe that's true, but we're gonna say it's true.
He has at least 2 of these racing incidents that we did catch on camera to look at. I'm sure there's more.
I'm sure they'll be
So
investigated.
Jan's
I have
dropping that
faith.
place. He's under pressure there from Isaac. Is what's happened here? Oh, that's
symbol from
Yanni.
That's coming out of the last corner.
It
Let's check what
is.
happens there. It's a bit further back. The last 2 corners. Let's see. First
Yeah.
one, he goes a bit deep. Actually, he goes pretty tight. That's what he has to do. Following first one, second one, he hits the back a little bit and it
yeah.
just goes all out of whack.
Now you can see why he did that, because
Yeah,
he's clearly a bit
he-
quicker than the Jan, and he wanted to get the great exit speed to make a run on Jan through there. But Jan must just he's on his racing line, just doing his defensive drive, and survives to see another day. He's got Isaac now coming up for him close, but I have to give it to Jan. I want this driver out there with practically one of the lowest I rating numbers on the grid there to hold off as much as he can, try to get a podium. As
Robert there
Robert.
has a little bit of a braking moment there and gets overtaken by Leon Jenkins.
yeah, Robert, unfortunately, the Netherlands is the other side of the track. You're in the wrong direction, my friend.
Oh, I mean, on start finish rate, I see a beautiful flag, and I keep saying that it's a Dutch flag, but people keep disagreeing with me.
No further action. The 85 and the 120. You can see the car. Oh, I'll tell you anyway. Robert is the 120, and the 85 machine was Leon.
Jenkins.
So I don't think we saw that one on camera, but either way,
No, I'm sure I can go back and find it.
that's fine. There's no further action anyway.
Sorry.
And there's Isaac
Well-
getting past. So Isaac making his way back up to the field there. We know he's got a 10-second penalty to add at the end of this. He's not worried about that currently at the moment. Jan's got to
Yeah,
defend against the blinking Harry, of course, that we know has been having some slight internet issues there for the other Finnish driver.
Right, and if Isaac were to take his penalty right now, he would actually drop all the way down to B11 currently. Sorry, B10. B10.
Ooh,
Because
that
it's
you
currently
got
at
off tracks
9.6
as well
seconds.
too, Isaac, as well. You've had a few of them before, my friend.
Yeah, the start finish is little bit weird on that one. You are allowed to go very wide. I believe the track limits there are the edge of the red-white curbing there.
Keep an eye on Harry, my friend, that battle. Yeah, I want to see if Jan can try to hold up Harry as long as he can, because clearly, once again, Jan is a little bit racing outside of his class, but he's doing a great job. He's just got to be parking that car, make it as wide as possible, just make it difficult for you to go. If you're going to get around me, guys, you've got to get around me the hard way. That's what I would say is in Jan's racing boots. I was going to say his racing suit, but I don't want to be jumping in your racing suit, mate. A bit too sweaty. Here we go.
Hard barge there, but...
Well, it's because he got the blinking Harry as well. That's what I'm saying. I mean, he's more under pressure, I'd say, there from Massimo behind him. Here, there's contact. Keeps it straight. It's getting a little bit argy-bargy for sure. Second races generally do, don't they? Because they kind of want similar revenges, I have to say, on some of the drivers in the first round.
Yeah, and I mean, with 3 laps left to go, they want to get their stuff done. They want to be in the mix there.
Yeah, Massimo wants to get this
realistically-
position. He's dropped 3 positions as well, too, remember, after this reverse grid. As well as Jan wants to try to hold off as much as possible after leading it. Brandon getting 9 positions. He's got that 4 in the bag, unless he makes a mistake. Stevie getting the 2. And Isaac, you'd have to say, great recovery drive again after being in the wars in the first round and then the second round now, but with a 10-second penalty. We'll lose some of those positions, but for now, all he can do is drive. Under investigation for the incident of the 24 car, which is Jan, and the 181, which was Massimo. So that incident you just saw before is under investigation.
That race control is on it, so that's very good to see. But we do see Steve. He's getting under pressure by Isaac right now.
Yeah, Isaac, yeah. All Isaac could do is overtake, knowing. And Stephen, you kind of think, how much of a fight do you want to put up? Would Stephen be aware that Isaac has a 10-second penalty to fight it? Or just go, I don't know.
I would assume so. Thankfully, with the pace that Isaac currently has, he has improved his position. Like, if we would take his penalty now, he would end up P7. So that's a massive improvement. He has done very well. He also currently holds the fastest lap time over Brendan.
Oh, Brendan's going to have to respond to that one. You know, Brendan's going to want to take... You know that for a fact, don't you? If you've had almost it would be a perfect weekend if you got pole position, fastest lap in both races, and a win in both races. The only thing he doesn't have right now is that second fastest lap to tick the 5 boxes off, I think, or 6. Anyway.
I agree. I mean,
no further action for the other one. See?
Yep. I mean, Grand Slam is pretty hard since you have the reverse grid for the second race, but I would call it Grand Slam. Getting pole position, winning both races, and getting both fastest laps.
And you know you're going to want that one, isn't it? That's the one that, if anything, would be, if we have an interview with Brennan, but that's the one that might be a little bit. There's just Stevie gone lane through completely. That's a slowdown, I think. Is that going to hurt him for your Harry in the background? No, he should be okay. That totally looked like a slowdown there. I don't think Stevie, if he wanted to allow him through, I don't think he would allow him through that easily.
I would assume so, yeah. I don't think he would let him through.
Especially bringing Harry in play if he did it slow down that bad. I mean, deliberately slow down. I mean, not the actual slowdown and being told by the game.
I mean, he lost 1.7 seconds on Isaac, and now Harry is like less than a second behind him. So he's under pressure from behind now once again, even though he was fighting for P2 before. So I'm assuming Steve
he's
isn't
got the
happy about that
P2,
one.
remember, still. So because Isaac's penalties.
Virtual P2.
Yeah, and Harry now is thinking, okay, Harry and Stevie for the P3. But get P1, guys. Brandon has that one locked up, sealed, and done. That's in the vault, and nobody's getting the combination to that. Only Brandon knows it.
Yep. So let's see. We currently have Massimo trying to get a run onto Jan. Jan is losing a little bit of position and a little bit of time. I mean, remember he started race 2 on pole position, lost 3 positions so far. But I mean, so far he's done an amazing job. He's battling with people who are more than like nearly double or far more than double his I rating. So
no, I was saying I was hoping at the
job.
start he could hold it off for a little bit longer, but that was just he was doing his best. But at the moment he's going to try to hold off the flying Italian for perhaps 1 or 2 laps at best. Harry's gone. Harry's made a mistake. So the 88 car has gone somewhere.
Oh, no.
And he's dropped a couple of places, so I'm not quite sure of his contact. Remember, he was battling like mad to beat. There's Jan. He's behind Jan, I believe, at this point.
Trying to see where Harry went, but I didn't get
There's
a
Harry
notification. But
behind there in the replay. Now I'm just trying to see. Yeah,
trying to see what happened there.
It's because it's because of the internet connection. It's blinking a little bit, and it's unfortunately not saving us that. And Yeah,
Trying to see if we
Harry's
can.
out, unfortunately, of this race. He's in the pit
Steve,
road.
that's not the right one.
No, I don't think you can
Yeah,
get
he
it.
is.
You can't get it because of I say his internet connection. If you go back to the live pictures now, I'd say that's
There
what
might
it
be
is.
a disconnect, I would assume.
Yeah, we know that he was having some sort of issue there, and that's unfortunate. You never want drivers to have that issue. We want to see everybody racing, but
Yeah.
I don't
See
think
that,
there was
but
contact. Race control could probably confirm
I-
that with us too. That if he got
I'm not.
they caught.
I'm not actually entirely sure because I mean Steve is now 7 seconds behind Isaac, and Jan is now on the back of Steve. I do think the entire timing tower is going a little bit haywire. No, actually, no, the wrong way around. Sorry, Massimo is right there.
Yeah.
Yep.
No, Massimo was behind him before. I'm just wondering what happened to. Yeah, you can see now because Jans has got to try to hold off the flying Italia as much as he possibly can. He's got a smile on his face in that picture you can see at the moment. So keep that smile going. I'm sure a big concentration on his face right now for the Retro Motorsport team.
Yeah, I mean, let's hope he keeps it up. And the way I'm looking at it right now is this should be the final lap. I believe Brendan did get the white flag.
Yeah, my mouse isn't flashing white, and this is an opportunity here. There'll be a little bit of
A little bit of bump
argy-bargy.
there. Still, all fair, all good.
Yeah, because, I mean,
Nice.
he's got to defend as much as he can. Clearly, Massimo Bonini is a little bit quicker, and he's probably aware of that, but he just knows he needs to just keep this car ahead of him for just... Yeah, I think my mouse is not flashing white yet. It should be on the last lap. We'll see.
Yeah, we did see in the last couple of laps, Bonnie has had the pace over Paul, so...
Yeah, mate, and
Must be the sound of that
if he's a
setup,
bald brother like me, he's got less air resistance on his head. Sorry, mate, if you do. I gotta support my fellow bald brothers.
I would assume no one noticed. I mean, you have the top hat, don't you?
Yeah, that's why I wear the top. No, I use wear hats anyway, but yeah, it's a little hard to wear with your headphones on when you're casting. It's the only problem with top hats. But here we go. This is final opportunities. But Brandon's going to start this. Will Brandon get the fastest lap? But I don't think he has it.
He did not, no.
No, Brandon, you missed
Still looks to be
one off the
Isaac.
tick the boxes, mate. One of them. That's enough, man. How about Isaac does get the fastest lap? We'll go drop back 10-second
Ooh,
penalty.
John, can he keep
This
it
is close.
Ooh, that was
Nah,
very close. That was the start finish line. He got it. It's a 1/10 of a second between them.
Yeah. It's just like Silverstone, isn't it? That start finish line creeps up very quickly out of the corner.
Yeah, it's immediately right there out of the chicane. So it needed to be a miracle for Massimo to get the position there from Jan. But
I think they
well
should
defended.
move it further, like where that line is there now. I think they should move there because that way you're going to allow that run down there and allow cars to go side by side to push a little bit more. That should be where the start finish line is.
I mean, that gets me flashbacks from ovals, from like stuff like Talladega, where they moved the start finish line like all the way to the front of the front stretch, basically, or back of the front stretch actually.
Mm.
But yeah, I believe that should be our race and our results. So coming into the screen right now, we have the feature race results coming up with Brandon as we expected and as we assumed into P1. Isaac with a very, very well P2, but do remember there will be a 10-second time penalty added to his time, so that should end up in P6 if my calculations are correct. Which I'm sure Race Control will correct me if I'm not.
Yeah, they will confirm. Matteo didn't have a great day in the chat there. He said he closed us in about saving anything. He had a couple of black and white flags there and broke his suspension and stuff like that. So I think that's Matteo, isn't it, in the chat there? He was mentioning that.
Yeah, I believe so.
So, unfortunate for you, my at home too, and a home race is disappointing, but that's generally the rule of thumb, isn't it, in motor racing, that you don't have much luck in your home tracks. It's kind of that little racing curse. I know that Australian drivers don't really have too much luck before in the past in Australia, and maybe. I mean, Dutch drivers do have okay. Then Dutch drivers do okay in the Netherlands, and British drivers do okay in Silverstone, things like that. Anyway, Brendan, you have to do okay in Circuit de Javille now, but that's not on our touring car calendar.
Yeah, unfortunately, but I mean, we do have our good friend Brendan available for an interview, so I will get him right up here, and that should be Brendan. Good evening, Brendan.
Oh, good evening, guys.
Good evening. That was quite a result from you once again. It's been two quite lonely races, haven't they?
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I got the first race. I had like, I guess the same sort of thing happened to Isaac as what happened to me there last week. Just getting loose on the first or second lap when the tires are cold, and yeah, from there I was able to just kind of keep going. Didn't have anything to really worry about too much. There like there's lots of just lots of space ahead just to keep my my mind clear, just do lap after lap, and was fortunately able to get the win there. And second race had a really good start, and I'm just trying to pick my way through the field as fast as I could. That was some really great stuff, and this track allows for some really interesting passing opportunities. So that was a lot of fun, and great stuff from everybody all throughout the field. That was some really great stuff. So. Magny-Cours. Wasn't familiar with it before this week, but it's a really great track. So I'm glad we came here for sure.
So I was saying this, but welcome along, man. GG's as well to Brandon. I was saying this before to Kevin about how some of the drivers just approach a track there. They haven't really had much experience, and they just annihilate the track, really. Send the track packing out of the country. You did a great job. I'm disappointed with you, my friend, that you didn't tick all the boxes off. Okay, so you got the pole position, you got the race win, you got the fastest lap in the first one, you got the race win again, of course, reverse grid. Great job getting all those positions, 9 total. But you missed the fastest lap.
Oh no! No.
So you got 4 out of 5. Isaac stole that one away from you, but hey, you can't take it away from him. Almost flawless for the weekend.
Thanks. Yeah, Isaac is super quick, so yeah, I'm not surprised that he got the fastest lap in the second one. And it's going to be a really great battle with a few of them. It's going to be really close. So I'm looking forward to the rest of the races ahead. It's competition's really stiff, and I'm just happy to come home with really good points this week, and see if we can continue that throughout the rest of the season. But it's going to be a really great battle for the championship, I think. So it's going to be good.
Yeah, I'll leave it over to Kevin there at the moment there. Unless you'll ask any more questions. That fantastic job, of course. Well, the closest thing, of course, as Canada to France, for the French public at least, there would be that they speak French in Canada. But Brandon has done it. GG's, good job there. And by the way, too, my friend, you've got a couple other drivers, it seems like in the chat earlier, that will be joining this season as well, too. So more competition for you. But
that's good. Yeah, always great to see new people coming in. We've seen a lot of growth with this series. So the more the merrier. It's gonna be great. As many people we can get, that'd be really cool. So everybody come on out. It's a lot of fun, especially with reverse grid. And I think there's an extra 2 positions for reverse grid this season. So even more work to do in the second race. And it's just a really great time with everybody. There's a lot of respect given, and hats off to all these guys. It's been a lot of fun. So if anybody's interested in the chat, come on out. It's gonna be a lot of fun. So still got a lot of season left, and a lot of really great tracks coming up as well. So it should be a really good time.
Yeah, I mean, I can't wait to see it next week. We're heading over to Knockhill. You've got some experience there from the previous seasons. You expecting a challenge there?
Oh, definitely. Yeah, Knockhill's such a tight track, and it's gonna be really tough to pass. Of course, you got the gigantic sausage curbs. You're like flying over them, and Knockhill's like one of the best tracks on here. I think it is so much fun. It's. Like doesn't really matter how many cars you put on the track at Knockhill. It's gonna be a really fun time. So I'm really looking forward to that. I think I had a penalty there last year. Couldn't quite get the couldn't get quite as well as positions as I wanted last season. So I'm looking forward to coming back, and hopefully we can put up some good results. And it's going to be a blast seeing all these cars flying over the curbs. There's like about three curbs where you just launch over them. So, and of course the tight hairpin coming onto the start finish straight. So it's gonna be some really great racing, and really tight for sure. So looking forward to that.
Beautiful. I mean, we can't wait to see it. It's going to be an amazing one. So for everyone that wants to, make sure you tune in next week Tuesday at the same time. We're just checking if we have any more interviewees. For now, Brandon, thank you so much.
I'd like to hear from Isaac about he had an eventful race, of course, for having Rick and Morty on the splash on the side of his car. So if we can.
Yeah, I did try to get him in there. Unfortunately, he has another championship race he needs to head to.
Well, we got Stevie,
this-
of course, there too, doing a great job, I have to say.
Exactly.
As well, too. Stevie can come in there. So
we do have Stevie available. So for now, Brendan, thank you so much for hopping on and having a chat with us, and thank you for driving your ass off, because you absolutely did that. It was an amazing one.
Thank you. Thanks, Kevin. Thanks, Biggles. Yeah, we'll see you guys next time. And we just see Steve hopped in here. Great race, Steve. And yeah, we'll see you guys next week. Have a good one.
Yes, thank you very much, Brendan. And welcome, Steve.
Hello,
Good
hello,
evening.
hello.
Hello, hello. Look at that. B2 in the second race. You managed to recover quite well. What are your thoughts?
Oh, it was just, it's one of my best tracks as well, and I was like so off the ball tonight. I couldn't find pace. There was a lot of door banging racing, which was really cool to see. I think it must have been really good for the stream as well, because
Definitely was.
it was nice and clean, and it was pretty slick. So just couldn't get my act together in race 1. Race 2 came together a bit towards the end. I got a little bit of a gap. Should have finished a bit higher, I think, on that. But there's no beating Brandon, is there? We need to take a wheel off him or something. I think that'd be a good idea.
I've suggested the success ballast, but unfortunately, no one's listened to me so far.
I'm listening.
Yeah, well, we're gonna have to see what we can do about that. Maybe someone can hop into his garage and slowly unscrew one nut at a time.
Yeah, I'm going to alter his camber on his setup, I think. But no, I think that was good. I think hopefully the crowd enjoyed that one. That was certainly a good series of racing. That was.
I mean, I definitely hope so. I'm pretty sure me and Biggles, speaking for us, we definitely enjoyed it. It was great racing all around. So race 1, we definitely saw you got a couple of slowdowns. Were they very, very rough today?
No, not really. I think it was just I don't know. I didn't have a lot of practice time today. I was doing a lot of mid-Ohio last week in the officials. So for me, it was just lack of practice coming into it. I was late braking, over driving, and just wasn't really on my game. The slowdowns are always eviler. The X's are just as bad. But there's nothing you can do about it. You make the mistake, you got to suffer.
Yeah, you do. I'm just looking back through some of the replays there of the off tracks and excursions and the battles that you're having, obviously, too, with Isaac and many other drivers. But I do give you credit for some of the best livery, because it's impossible for me, and I think that Kevin would have to agree on that one, to see if there's any possible damage on that motor vehicle at all with that livery. It just throws everybody off. It's just fantastic. And just to speak about the livery, what was the reason why you chose that one? Any particular?
No, not
reason or
really.
something,
It kind of just gets on your nerves a little bit when you're racing it. The more you can bug someone, the more chance you've got of them making the mistake. So we do have a new livery on our way for next week. We should have been here this week, but yeah, I like the camo liveries. It's good fun.
Yeah, that's the camouflage.
Beautiful.
Everybody will roll back on that one. That's the one that looks like it's a tiger or I don't know,
Yeah.
a polar bear on steroids or something like that. I'm not quite sure, but it's something. It's
Something along those lines.
yeah. But your
Yeah, but
racing
the
was
real
absolutely fantastic, Stevie. Go ahead, Kevin.
Yeah, I was going to say the real question is, of course, are we going to see a sneak peek of that on our social medias?
Yes, we will. I've got a
Beautiful.
sponsorship deal for a little while, so the livery is all going to be done on the
badass.
car, which is pretty cool. So yeah, we'll get it up ready for next week, and we'll premiere it on the ASR channel next Tuesday.
Beautiful, yeah, because I can already hear Wes pretty much screaming over the car liveries,
Yeah.
like he always does.
Well, I'm hoping the new paint job, it's going to give me at least 0.2 second, I think, because I've just shaved a bit of the layers off, so I've got a bit more time in it, I think.
Once you do the Mercedes, mate, just don't have paint. Just get carbon fiber.
Yeah, I was going to say the shell off to just try and compete with Brandon. But
Well, you're doing it all right. You got to remember, so third place finish in the feature race. You got to remember your 4K rating, which is no slouch on there, against 7.4 and 7.2K IO rating drivers. So almost half, but not half the performance from the man driving that car, Mr. Steven.
No, and it was last week. Last week I was on form last week, so I'll be back on form next week. I've had a P2, I've had a P3. I'm up there. I was joint third, I think, on the table after the first race. So over the 3 seasons, I've gone from something like 9th to 5th, and this year we're going for a top 3 finish. This season, sorry, we're going for a top 3 finish. So we've got some cracking drivers though joined us this year as well, from the officials and stuff. So yeah, it's
and more to come tonight, mate. A few people signed up, so
yeah,
for them. Another Audi, I believe, will be on the field.
It's great fun. You know, the racing has really come a long way. It's you know, you've got confidence to race against people of all caliber. So those people listening and watching, if you're really wanting to get into it, you know, league racing is brilliant. It's so much fun. Get registered and get racing with us.
Unless you have to wash Stephen's racing overalls.
Yeah. Do you not like them?
Then the racing isn't so much fun. But GG's on that one, mate. Yeah, always a pleasure to have you come up into the booth there for a chat there after each of the races. Positive attitude, and more importantly, having fun.
Yeah, good fun, guys. We'll
That's
see.
what it's all about, right?
It sure is. So we'll see how it goes next week, and hopefully I'll be back in the nice warm booth chatting to you again.
Beautiful. We can't wait to see it.
No worries,
All right.
guys. Take care.
Yeah. Thank you for your time, Steve.
See you
Have a
later.
good evening.
Bye bye.
Have a good one. All right. I believe with that, Biggles, we've gone through our list of people who are available for interviews.
Yes, sir.
So,
And we have to have a
any-
big shout out, of course, to everybody that's been pumped up on that Rogue Energy out there in the chat. Of course, there's so many of those. Everybody that's joined the entertainment here, Any Store Racing out there. Big shout out to everybody. I won't go through the list because there was a lot. So it's good to see, of course, well about our fantastic stewarding team of Andy.
Yep.
Maybe, I don't know, Andy might have a quick chat or something like that. Do you want to? I don't know if Andy's available for a quick chat because stewards do a lot of work, but we'll see. I'm not quite sure. It's up to you, boss.
We're gonna give him the option to hop in if he's listening and if he's there. While we wait for that, I just want to give a quick shout out to a couple of our sponsors, Major's Garage. If you need iRacing setups, especially for these cars, they do an amazing job of those. You can visit that at majors.nslracing.com. Also, make sure you head over to Abruzzi Racewear, which gives you great racing apparel with Abruzzi.nslracing.com. If you need gloves, if you need boots, get over there.
Can I get
And
Rick and Morty printed them with them? I probably could sort that out, couldn't I?
You know, I'm quite sure they don't have that default on the website, but in my experience, contact them. They're willing to do whatever you want. I mean, I ordered my gloves there, and I came in with this ridiculous idea, and they were completely willing to work with me, and I got an absolutely amazing set of gloves.
It's in the description, guys. So down there under the affiliates, of course, that definitely do that.
Yeah. Make sure you head over. And I do believe we have one great guy in our commentary booth right here.
Hello.
Andy, good evening.
Good evening.
Hello there.
Andy, great
You
job
have
on the
yourself
stewarding,
a,
my friend. Michael Massey's even just texted me and said, "Who is this race control? This is a great race control." He's so yeah. How was that for you? Both of those, everything you had to do behind the scenes.
It's all right. It's difficult in TCR compared to, for example, IMSA or IndyCar that we did in the past because touring cars, it takes a very big hit before it registers as a 4X. So there's a lot of bumps and scrapes that these cars have without any incident points coming up, which makes it difficult to try and keep track of stuff unless you're watching it live or seeing it live happen on the stream. To see, because sometimes someone could give a small bump, but it could still be that you need to at least have a look at it and investigate it. So,
Yeah. I mean, I believe you did an amazing job. We caught the couple incidents you mentioned as well, and so far I agreed. I mean, of course, it doesn't say anything since, you know, who are we but broadcasting folk. We like action. We like seeing what we see.
as well, fairly clean as well. It's that's the thing. Most of the incident, there was a couple. There was, for example, one where I believe Robert de Koning tapped someone and then spun him round slightly, and he waited, he stopped, and the other guy drove off ahead. So, and that makes my job very easy because then I could just go, okay, no further action. Nothing was gained or lost.
A real quick question about one of the drivers. I believe it was is it Harry that had a internet connection issue that was blinking on our screens. Now, how do you deal with stewarding on that?
Yeah, that's the thing. It's difficult because, of course, people who do have it's not their fault if they have internet problems, but if it's clearly affecting other drivers, or if someone's trying to race with him, and you can see with how much he's blinking or moving around, you can't safely go side by side. Then we have the ability to ask people to park it if it really is too bad. But to be honest, from what it looked like, it looked okay from the outside looking in on my end. It's just unfortunate at the end that his internet finally gave up and he disconnected.
Yeah, sad to see. I mean, he was in a good fight for P4 with Steve and Isaac there, and unfortunately he had to, he was kind of forced to concede those positions and finish P12 in the feature race. So very unfortunate, and we hope to see him back for next week. preferably with a more stable connection. But yeah, I mean, Andy, thank you so much for hopping in and providing the feedback that
Yep.
you could. It's great seeing it, great seeing the decisions, and great seeing everything in the chat. So, good job on that one. Thank you very much. And I also want to give a big thanks to my big man Biggles there with the stop hat on. You were absolutely amazing, as you always were. It was great having
Thank you very much,
by my side here.
and well done, of course, on the production trailer work, the casting, and of course the running this fantastic league. Thank you.
I mean, it's a team effort, all of it, everything. So I won't take any credit for that one. But yeah, for everyone who's still watching, thank you guys for tuning in for round 2 of the Entastar Racing Touring Car Series. You'll find us next week again at 6 p.m. GMT. Once, I mean, like always, this time on the Knock Hill circuit. So make sure you tune in, and we'll see you next week. Have a beautiful time.
I don't have the words to tell you that I think I lost my